Hi everyone, I'm Eloy from Knowledge Sharing Tech. In this video, I'll be comparing two powered speakers. On my right, I have the PreSonus Eris E3.5 and on my left, I have the Edifier R1280TS. I chose to make this comparison because these two speakers have many similarities. In my video, I'll be covering the following topics. I'm going to talk about the build quality and the specifications of these speakers. I'm going to cover the connections and the controls. And most importantly, I'm going to be performing a sound test. And at the end, I'm going to tell you what I like and what I don't like in each speaker and what speaker I would recommend in what use case. So let's start first by showing you the build quality of these speakers. These are the speakers up close. So you notice that the PreSonus Eris is much smaller than the Edifiers, and also the Eris are lighter than the Edifiers. The Eris are made from vinyl plastic, whereas the Edifiers are made from wood. And wood is better than plastic when it comes to speakers because it doesn't resonate. Now, for the assembly of the speakers, both speakers are really well assembled. There are no faults anywhere on both speakers. I like the colors of the Edifiers more than the colors of the PreSonus Eris, but this is a matter of taste also. Now, the PreSonus Eris don't have a mesh grill to protect them, and they are all plasticky here. And the Edifiers have this nice mesh grill. It is removable in case you want to use them without the mesh grill. Let me show you. You just pull it out, and they have like this metal logo here that is really very nice. And the speakers overall look much better, in my opinion, than the PreSonus Eris speakers. Let me know in the comments section below what speaker you think looks best. To continue on the build quality, let me talk about the cables. So both speakers come with all required cables. These are the cables that come with the PreSonus Eris. So you have a detachable power cable, which is really very good. And then you have the speaker connecting cable, which is 2 meters. You have one RCA cable to 3.5 millimeter. It is 1.5 meters. And you have 3.5 to 3.5 millimeters. That is also 1.5 meters. Now, with the Edifiers, you have the following cables. First, for the power cable, it is attached to the speaker. And then you have the speaker connecting cable, that is 2 meters. And you have RCA to 3.5 millimeter cable, that is 1.7 meters. And RCA to RCA, that is also 1.7 meters. For the specifications of the speakers, let me start with the drivers. Both speakers have two drivers. The PreSonus Eris has 1-inch tweeter and 3.5-inch woofer, whereas the Edifiers have 13 millimeter or half-inch tweeter and 4-inch woofer. The Edifiers are front-ported, whereas the PreSonus Eris are back-ported. For the frequency response range, the PreSonus Eris has a frequency response range from 80 Hz to 20 kHz, whereas the Edifiers have frequency response range from 52 Hz to 20 kHz. The Edifiers is 21 watts times 2, whereas the PreSonus Eris is 25 watts times 2. The Edifiers have also a sound effect called Sound Feed Specializer that makes the sound a little bit like 3D sound. Frankly, I don't like this, so it's not an advantage in my opinion for the Edifier. Let me talk now about the connections and the controls. I'm going to start with the PreSonus Eris. On the front of the speaker, you have your on-off button here. And on the right, you have the volume button that is really very small. And then you have two inputs. You have auxiliary in input that is unbalanced. And then you have your headphones jack input. And on the back of the speaker, you have these two controls that are here. So you have the high and the low controls. And both controls are small, but they have a stop in the middle. So adjusting them without looking at them is easy. You have the TRS balanced input. You have RCA unbalanced input. And these are all the inputs and controls on the PreSonus Eris. Let me show you now the Edifier. For the Edifiers, on the front there are no controls and no inputs. On the side of the speaker, you have the treble control here, the bass and the volume and on-off button. For the treble and the bass, they have a stop in the middle, and they are very well weighted and of a very good size. Also, the volume button is a very good size. And for the volume and on-off button, it has a graduation. On the back of the speaker, you have two RCA inputs that are unbalanced, and you have a subwoofer output, and you have here the master on-off button. Also for the Edifiers, you can control them via the remote control, whereas the PreSonus Eris doesn't have a remote control. And this is here the infrared receiver for the remote control. Now that we covered the basics, let's go and perform the sound test. For the sound test, please note that it is only indicative because it cannot be accurate 100% because it goes through many stages before it arrives to you. So it goes through my microphone, it goes through internet compression, and then it goes out from your speakers. Just before starting the sound test, if you're liking this video so far, please don't hesitate to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel. And also, if you want to check out any of these speakers, I'm going to leave an Amazon affiliate link in the description below. If you make a purchase using my link, I will gain a small percentage at no cost to you, and this will help my channel greatly. Now, let's go and perform the sound test.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad, chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back, I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me, ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact, give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious, I'ma go cause something, can't stop this, I'ma steal everybody's thing. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna stay bad, stay mad, chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back, I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me, ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact, give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious, I'ma go cause something, can't stop this, I'ma steal everybody's thing, call it shot. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate, every word I move so discreet. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate, every word I move.
Now that you listen to the sound test, you have your own opinion on what sound you like better. For me, I like the sound of the Edifiers better. I found it richer and I found it also punchier and clearer. Now that doesn't mean that the sound that the PreSonus Eris produces is not good. It is good, and especially when you tune it using the treble and the bass controls on the back of the active speaker. Now let me tell you what I like and what I don't like in each speaker. I'm gonna start with the Edifiers. For the Edifiers, I like the build quality of these speakers. They are really very well built and the color is really very elegant. I also like the mesh grille on the front. I also like the sound that these speakers produces. It is really very good, punchy and clear. And also I like the fact that they have a remote control. Now what I don't like about them is the lack of inputs. So they have only 2 analog inputs that are RCA unbalanced inputs. Also for the power of these speakers, they are not very powerful. So 21 watts is okay, but they are not as powerful as the PreSonus Eris. So now let's go to the PreSonus Eris. For the PreSonus Eris, I like the sound they produce if you want to produce music. So if you don't touch the treble and the bass controls, they produce really an accurate and flat sound, and this is very helpful to produce music. I also like the fact that they have 3 inputs and frontal ports. Now what I don't like about these speakers is their build quality. They are really light and I don't like the plastic build of these speakers, and I don't like the fact that they don't have a remote control. Now what speaker to choose in what use case? If you want to use your speakers on your TV, it's better to go with the Edifiers because they have a richer sound and also because they have remote control, which makes them very convenient to use on the TV. Now if you want to use your speakers on the computer, it's better to go with the PreSonus Eris because they have these very convenient front controls and front ports on the main speaker. I hope that my video will help you in your choice of purchasing a power speaker, whether it is the Edifier R1280TS and whether it is the PreSonus Eris E3.5. Let me know in the comments below what speaker would you choose and why. If you like my video, please share it, subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. I'm Eloy from Knowledge Sharing Tech. See you in the next video.